Hello again, folks, and welcome to a special presentation on Silk on the Web. I am excited. I am also a little nervous. It feels a bit like Thanksgiving dinner, and the guests are coming over. I have spent the week getting things ready for you because I want it to be perfect. Uh, because today I am going to show you my own collection of United States stamps. On the channel so far, I have shown you several wonderful collections that other folks have put together, and I do like collecting stamps or albums that other folks have cherished, and then I kind of feel like I'm preserving them. I do like that part of philately. I also take a special pride in the albums that I put together, as I bet you take pride in your collections. And so I spent some time this week getting my house in order, so to speak, so that I could uh, give a showing of my collection. Before I do, two quick things to note. The temperature reading on my phone says 7 degrees. And it has been gray and kind of abysmal around here today. However, the 2 week outlook has us slowly warming to spring. And I love the reminder that if it is gray where you are, I bet sunshine is somewhere on the horizon for you, my friends. The second thing I wanted to say before I jump into my USA album is that gaps in a stamp album are nothing to be ashamed of. And I think about that when I open my books. Uh, I'm sure someone out there can tell us the exact number of people that have collected every single stamp in American philately. There haven't been many. And so, when you look at an album, when you look at your album especially, you can feel a bit bad about the gaps in it, the ones that you haven't gotten yet. Well, I think those are just opportunities for growth. Opportunities to continue growing your collection. And I think that's an important thing for us collectors to keep in mind as we are pursuing our hobby. And with that, it is a tremendous joy to share an album with you, my friends, that has meant a great deal to me over the years. So, my standard disclosure applies to this video as well. I am in no way, shape, or form sponsored by anyone. I will, however, give a shout out to Davo because they are my album of choice, and I do love their Hingeless albums. Once again, I am just saying thanks because I have enjoyed their albums. So this is a Davo Hingeless album, the Lux model, I believe, for the USA Stamps, Volume 1. And as always, I will have a hard time with the glare on the mounts. I will try my best to accommodate accordingly. And there is page 1. I have come close so many times to picking up a Scott catalog number 1, and I have yet to. I am awaiting the right stamp. I am also awaiting the right moment in my financial standing to make that investment. I do see that sort of stamp as an investment. I do think it will continue to bring back returns over time. I just haven't made it quite yet. That said, on this page, there are several that I love. That one is not new. It looks like it, but it has a slight cancel on it. The margins on the 12 cent are gorgeous. So a nice page 1. Again, with some opportunities for growth. Page 2, I really enjoyed finding the different varieties on the 10-cent stamps. There are some stamps that frustrate me as I try to figure out which variety it is. These I had fun with, so I do like those. I love the blue cancel on the 1 cent, and I do get a kick out of the old paid cancels as well. That is one of my favorite stamps. It is pristine, socked on the nose with a cancel and a second red cancel on the bottom. I absolutely cherish that stamp. A nice blue cancel. I think, like a lot of folks, the blackjack is one of my favorites. It's just a cool design. I love that cancel, and I love the circular cancel on the 24. And here is my pride and joy. I am fortunate to have a nice collection of grills, and particularly that one. That is a D grill. I have looked at it closely under a high-powered magnifying glass. I have measured, I have reviewed, and I am fairly confident that that is in fact a D grill, and if so, with a nice red cancel. If it is a D grill, it is one of the highest catalog valued stamps I own. I will actually send that off for certification at some point, and I'll walk you through that process too, because I think it's an important one for us to know. If that comes back as a certified D grill, you'll probably hear me hooting and hollering wherever you are, because I'll be quite thrilled. I do, even if it's one of the other ones, I do love grills, and these are very, very nice stamps. I love the 15 and the 12. The 1 is particularly fine. Very, very nice page. And my pictorials. Again, a nice collection. Missing the higher valued ones here. At some point, I'll track those down, I hope. These two are potentially the crown jewels of my collection. I have looked at them so closely, and I am convinced there isn't a grill on either. And if that's the case, then they are the reprints from the mid-70s, I believe, and therefore combined catalog value is over $6,500 currently. Very, very fine stamps. That's got a nice fancy cancel on it too. Those I will also send out for certification, so fingers crossed. I love this page. Another nice page. This is the next one that I'm tracking down because I love the feeling of completing a page and sitting back and looking at your work. I just think that's great. So that 90 cent was on my radar. Hopefully a mail day soon you'll see me get the 90 cent. On the soft porous paper variety, of course. I do like the 90 cent with the secret mark there. Those secret marks are fun to find. That's another one of the varieties that I enjoy identifying. Or variations. I probably should say variations. But I love this stamp. That is a gorgeous blue cancel on the 2. So very cool. New to the 5, and then the 8 is new as well, so is the 10. 15 has a faint cancel on it. And there are my Columbians, new to the 5 to the 50. That is a very fine 50, by the way. I got that at a stamp shop. I paid a good good bit of change for that one, but I loved it so much. It was in such great condition. Again, shout out to the stamp shops, and if you're ever looking for a high-end stamp like that, I strongly encourage you to consider a stamp shop. I love this stamp. It's off-centered, and I don't care. It's got a cool Chicago cancel, 1896. I just think that's cool, and that's a Chicago cancel too. I love that. That one's new. That might actually be never hinged, actually, now that I think about it. The dollar. A nice New York cancel. Speaking of never hinged, obviously one of the drawbacks with the Davo albums is that they're not clear backed, right? So you can't see the back of the stamps. I am in the process of cataloging this album, so there will be a sheet at the front that identifies each stamp and lists which ones are mint never hinged. After the 1930s in this album, I think about 95% is mint never hinged. One of the tricks I picked up over the years is that you can buy inserts for these albums and affix them to the side of the page so that you can personalize it a little bit. So there's my picture postcard of the 2-cent stamp, which I opened on this channel. I'll put a link in the video description so you can see that. That just makes it feel more like mine because I'm personalizing the album a bit. And again, forgive the glare. There's not much I can do. You either see the stamps and the glare or we're in darkness, I guess. I love the Trans-Mississippi. This is one of my favorite sets, if not the favorite set in American Philately. The pictures are so evocative, especially the 10. I want the $1 stamp so badly. I actually want that stamp more than I want Scott Catalog 1. So one day I will find the right stamp at the right time. A new set of the 1901 series. There's the 50 center I found in the album from Half Price Books. I'll put a link in the description below to that fun video. Here's an update for you. I was at that Half Price the other day. They are selling Big Sur for $400. I knew they would, but you know, what are you gonna do? And I had so much fun finding a stamp album at Half Price Books, so I can't blame them. And that's one of the things I love about collections like this. Every time I see this stamp, I'm going to think about that fun adventure that I took and finding that album. So, you know, these things really capture memories, and they're just a keepsake. There's the blue paper. For the longest time, I sorted through so many stamps looking for blue paper, trying to compare versions and figure out if I had mine. Finally, I realized, why don't I just buy one? So there it is. That's mine. It's blue. And after I got it in my album, I stopped looking for others. Oh, the things you learn on your stamp collecting journey. All right, so these guys. The first thing I'm going to admit, and I don't mean this to be too controversial or whatnot, but I don't like these stamps. And part of it is that, you know, there are folks who think that the rarest of rare heirs of this stamp or that stamp is worth $45,000, and if you happen to find it, you can pay your mortgage with this stamp. And I just don't buy into any of that sort of gold digging style of collecting. It's just, first of all, I think it's fool's gold. I don't think any stamp like this is worth $45,000 or whatever. But it's also just not why I care about philately. If I were to have, and maybe I do have, a very rare heir variety, I just put it in this book, and I think it was cool when I looked at it. But I don't I don't buy into that whole I'm going to get rich quick by finding this random rare stamp. I don't like it. I think it can trick people at its worst, to be honest. The second bit is I don't. It's not that I don't enjoy identifying stamps. I do. I just, for these in particular, I ended up buying from a trusted source. And I have, spent time figuring out the watermarks and the printings and all the rest. It's just, oh, there's the blue paper. Again, I spent time comparing like 3 sets. Is that one blue? Is that one blue? Anywho, I I ultimately decided for these stamps, I would buy versions from a trusted seller, put them in my book, and call it a day. I don't think they're the most attractive of stamps in American philately. There's so many different variations. It's if this is your thing, if this is what you love about, and you're a specialist in this area of philately, more power to you. I think it's so cool. Whatever you like in philately, I'm entirely supportive because it's a cool hobby. This part just isn't for me. That said, I do love I love looking at cancels like this one. New York, New York. That tells a story to me. So anyway, that's my thoughts on these guys. Again, there's just so many. I do like these coils. These coils are cool, and it's a nice opportunity to personalize my album a little bit too. And I do think starting about here, excuse me, starting about here is where I get more mint never hinged, and I will have a catalog or a sheet at the beginning of this book that shows which ones are. For example, this set is mint never hinged all the way to the 5. So I do have an ability of looking over gaps in an album, when it's a $400 stamp. But this one pisses me off. And it's simply that I haven't gotten around to it. I know these are readily available. I just haven't gotten around to it. And every time I look at this page, I think, oh, damn it. One of these days I will finish that set. So those gaps annoy me. Now we're getting into more of we've got a nice set of the canvas and the Nebraska. Both are new. A lot of these are never hinged too. And now we're getting into more of the common stamps. I love this series, or this set. I think it's probably my second favorite set. I love the hues. I love the light purple and the oranges and the greens and the blues. The pictures. It's just a gorgeous set. Oh, I did put the 5 upside down to remind me that this is... Oh, and the 50. Those are the 2 that aren't mint never hinged. The rest are. I'm flipping through the comments section pretty quickly. But let me just say, I remember vividly what it was like to find the last stamp I needed in a common set like the flag series from 43. it was so thrilling to finish that set. So if that's where you are in your stamp collecting journey, let me just say I relate. And I think it's so cool. And let me just say that, it keeps getting better too. Like you'll move on from finishing a set like this and start focusing on some of the rare stamps, and it just keeps getting more rewarding. And I'm at the point in my journey where I'm spending an awful lot of money on stamps because, I do think it's a decent investment, but also because it's my passion. It's what I love, and it started by finishing a set like this. So wherever you are in your journey, I think there's opportunities for enjoyment. And even for a common set like that, I still find it beautiful, and it tells such a story, especially that set. Maybe that will be a good behind the cancel at some point, actually. If you haven't seen yet, I'm doing a behind the cancel series where I tell the stories of the stamps themselves, and that's been fun. I'll put a link in the description below. All right, here they are. I do not have Zeppelins yet. I want them badly. I have just not found the right one at the right moment, but I will. And this too is a sheet that should be in a good collection, so I've been on the lookout for one of those. There's the new 1 cent that I found in an album page that I opened on the channel a couple weeks back. And I think we're coming to the end of what I wanted to show. I do have a number of the departments. Oh, I love the Parcel Post series. Those two are on my radar right now because, again, I love finishing a set. And so those are two that I'm looking for right now. Love that cancel. I have these two somewhere. That was part of my house cleaning that I did this week. I was trying to find those two stamps. I know they're around, and I will. But for right now, there's just two gaps. And then I put the cut squares in the back on a page inlaid in the book. And the last, there they are. I think I might do the same for my duck stamps. I haven't gotten around to that yet. And then the last page are the Confederate stamps. One of them, that one, both of them, who knows? They might be fake. There are an awful lot of forgeries in philately. I have put them in here because I think they're cool, and when I see that, I know it's kind of with an asterisk. Who knows? That one particularly looks suspicious, but it still fills a hole in my album. And with that, I am pleased to say thank you for joining me on a tour of my USA stamp collection. It has been so much fun putting together. And it is just, maybe midway or so through the journey. And if you like this presentation, please feel free to like the video and do subscribe to the channel. It means a great deal to me. And until next time, take care.